for hours. Please. Kiss me.
Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Cage's Kiss, the Nicolas Cage-based podcast that reflects on his life and times and his movies, and also generates kernels of wisdom like popcorn from his flick that week. I hope you know that I'm a really hot chick. Oh man, I'm like a MILF donating eggs. Man, I'm like wet. I'm also Adrian.
Your eggs are prime grade A. And I'm Donnie, the sperm donor.
Oh, Jesus. I'm Linda, but this week I'm an old, dried up barren cheese. Like a Parmesan or something.
Wow.
Are you a cheese with broken legs who has to act sitting in a chair in every scene, Linda? Are you that?
Why do you ask?
Don't mock that cheese.
All right, Diego Montoya, what's our movie called this week?
Today, we are covering Inconceivable.
Inconceivable!
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
And it doesn't mean what they think it means.
At all.
Oh, dear Lord. No, you guys, we're in for a treat. Didn't you see the fancy poster that the entire budget went to? We're watching a slick, modern, erotic thriller.
Are you sure
Isn't
it's
that
that?
like...
And it didn't go toward the eyeball effect during the credits?
Oh, that's your freaking movie. Okay, so for some reason there's this quote unquote hot chick in this movie right here. God, what the hell was her name? Katie, right? Who shows up? She drifts into Nicolas Cage and Gina Gershon's life, and she's like, "Oh, I have a baby. I want to hang out with you guys. Look, your friend even knows me. Oh, okay. I'm getting kind of old. I'm 55, but you can swing by the house anytime. Sure. I'm gonna cook you omelets and make a meal. It's fine. Your surrogate disappeared. I guess I'll have to be your surrogate. You used to have an issue with pills, so your husband won't trust you at key moments when he should trust you. About how I'm unhinged and how I killed somebody before the opening credits. Hi, Katie. Yeah."
And the man she kills in the beginning in the opening credits was the
Spoilers!
director.
Oh the director, Jonathan Baker. He's Barry. He's the friend at the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry.
I
I'm
might have thought that
sorry.
too, but like no, check it. So the director of this movie is a guy named Jonathan Baker, right?
Right.
Who is a sometime producer, sometimes writer. This was his first movie directing. He's another one in development. But before doing this, his real claim to fame was having been a contestant on season 6 of The Amazing Race.
Jesus.
He's on there with his wife, where he is introduced not as a filmmaker, but as an entrepreneur. So this is a guy who got into movies by having some money. And on the show, he describes himself as a dictator and a mental magician.
What?
Yeah, and on the show he has the same terrible hair, but he's wearing like this black and yellow Nike like biking shirt, I guess, that's too big for him, and he's always jumping up and down. It's like, no, come on, we gotta get there first. Like, wait a minute, Jonathan. It's like, you stupid bitch, come on. Like, wait, Jonathan, wait, why are you so awful? This is why women don't rule the world.
Wow.
He's dude, the way he is to his wife on there, it's like he does everything but punch her.
What an
On screen.
swell guy.
Now, I realize he's being a contestant in a reality show produced by Jerry Bruckheimer, so the reality of it is dubious at best. However, it doesn't show him in a very positive light. But the only thing he had in filmmaking really before doing this one was he produced a couple of sports videos in the 80s. And then this century, he produced a straight-to-video Bruce Willis movie called Survive the Night.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Yeah.
But was there really anything positive from this film?
I don't believe so.
I was just gonna say that as it turns out, the guy who gets got in the beginning is apparently no, I'm not positive on how to pronounce it. It's like either
You never are.
Il or Ele. It's ELE. Barda. And apparently he's
Barda.
just mostly a stunt dude. He's got like 110
Okay.
credits
makes
under his
sense.
belt for stunts.
He
But
took a
yeah,
good
because
stab.
Stay out of the kitchen in this movie because you're gonna get a butcher knife in you.
Yeah.
he was I mean he's really he's obviously definitely like pretty to look at, but an actor
He was more of an
Hey.
actor than the person who put the knife in him.
I believed him.
Yeah, when he was like, ow, a knife
Yeah,
in my body.
He totally came off as a guy that knew that this girl had taken their baby and was planning to take her baby back from donating her egg to the wife, because he totally came off that way by saying, "Ha, I know your plan and I shall choke you to death." And he didn't in any way come off as like an abusive guy just choking her going, "Why are you trying to leave? I won't
Which
let
is what
you."
we're supposed to believe. Yeah. So yeah, the plot twist is that she's the egg donor and trying to get back to babies made with her eggs because no parent is fit in her eyes.
And apparently this is what she does. She somehow gets the parents to hire her to make a mural for the kids' room.
One mural.
That's
One
fun.
fucking
Yeah,
mural.
Yeah. Egg donor by night, mural artist by day.
And to be, I
Oh.
think, a nanny for both. I think I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
and then
Well-
she takes the kid and kills the mom.
Yeah, then so this is somebody was on Rotten Tomatoes, somebody called this the hand that rocks the cradle with a surrogate.
Yes,
I
exactly.
know.
That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like
Well-
like the hand that rocks the cradle / a little bit of poison ivy, which is funny because
Eh.
this is the part where we get to talk
Why is that
about
funny, Linda?
the writer Chloe King.
Oh,
this
Chloe.
is more like
Tell
a
us all
Wii
about
version, the Women's Network version of Hand That
Yes.
Rocks the Cradle.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like
God.
like
Oh,
the
Oh,
Hallmark or Lifetime or what
Well, we
was
can-
the Women's Network that
Yeah, we
used
can
to
get
be.
into that after you tell us about the author or the writer, because
Yeah,
tell us about Chloe King because she's worse than this 3D energy drink I just drank.
She also wrote the screenplay for, or at least was a writer on Bee Monkey with fucking Asia.
With Rupert Everett.
Yeah, and Asia Argento. She also was a writer for a bunch of episodes of Red Shoe Diaries. She was also the vice
Speaking
president.
of respectful towards women.
Yeah, she was also the vice president of development for Red Shoe Diaries. So there's that. We bring it back to Cage in a couple ways. First of all, because she was in charge of costume jewelry for Valley Girl, his first lead role. And
Yeah, she wore a lot of hats, it looks like
Yeah.
over the years.
yeah, totally. Yeah, there's a lot
She was
of
just sort of in Hollywood, and they're like, hey, you want a job?
Yeah, exactly. She was let's see, she was in craft service for Two Moon Junction, and then moved to the
Solomon King
assistant to the
again.
producers for Drugstore Cowboy. And then she was
And?
the assistant to Mr. Figgis
Figgis!
in Lieberstrom.
Motherfucking
And
Figgis!
as you may recall, Figgis was the director of Leaving Las Vegas. So
Leaving Las Vegas, you may remember, is a good Cage movie, the opposite of this week's Cage movie.
And the one for-
films.
Once.
the one for which Cage finally got an Oscar. And
Yep.
she also was the writer for Poison Ivy 2,
Ooh!
which I watched for research, and I really wish I did not. God,
Well, no,
so
it's only
fucking
fair that you
terrible.
had to do that because I had to watch The Amazing Race.
Things are balanced again. Oh, Jesus. It was terrible.
It would have
so
been bad
fucking
enough
terrible.
watching this week's movie, but we decided to take it further. Of course,
Oh.
that also meant that was time we spent not rewatching this movie.
That's true. But I should also mention that Poison Ivy 2 had what's his name who played Mikey in Arsenal. And,
Oh, wait. Jonathan Sheck?
yes, the forgetful one.
Oh, God
the forgettable
damn.
one, I should say.
Yeah, he's mega forgettable.
Yeah, like you need somebody to fade in the background, get him.
Yeah, he was really praying to God for people to remember his name and face, but they changed it in ADR.
I have a name.
And I'll carry
yeah?
it with me
What
like
is
my
it?
daddy did.
I forgot.
The other trouble with Jonathan Sheck is you look at his name and it's like Skeksky.
He's a Skeksis.
How do I pronounce this Eastern European shit right now? Jonathan, what now? You Shrek the Third? This is ridiculous. Get out of here.
Oh, are
Nobody
you
saw your
naughty now, Alyssa Milano?
I don't know if we should put him in this movie. I want trial by stone.
Trial by stone.
Like, you can't
Like
keep
trial by
asking
bone.
for this, sir. It's not a thing. Trial by stone.
Inconceivable got its trial by stone on June 30th of 2017.
but wait,
Was
there's
this
more.
on TV?
Oh,
or
wait.
not?
You got more about Chloe King?
Yeah, I saw that she's married to Allison Burnett, and I was like, ooh, cool. We finally get somebody from the LGBTQ community in this bitch, but no, she's Allison's a dude apparently. Never met an Allison. That was a dude, but hey.
I mean,
exist.
there's male Vivians and
Yeah.
like, stuff. I mean,
And you
like,
don't make
young
fun of a
ones.
boy
well,
named
here's
Sue.
the thing. In the modern world, most girls' names used to be boys' names.
Yeah. This is
Well,
the modern progressive world, Linda.
You're right. I need
'cause
to get with
girls'
the time. I
names
need to
used to
check
be like
myself.
Elsbeth and Lilith and Eve and Satan.
Well, as it turns out, Allison Burnett is the writer, or one of the writers, for Underworld Awakening and Autumn in New York with Richard Gere and Winona Ryder.
Oh, God. Oh,
Richard Gere,
wait,
furry animals.
Underworld Awakening. That was the fourth one, wasn't it? The one that was in 3D?
Oh, Jesus, no.
The
Yes.
one where Scott Speedman, they couldn't get him to come back, so they just got him sort of cut out from scenes in the second movie.
Oh.
But also,
I saw that in the theater during Snowmageddon in 2012, and
man.
even though it was like 10 degrees outside, I considered walking out.
I
So
am
what else was
sorry.
there, Lindar?
Also, the last bit of information, she's the daughter of Patricia Louisiana Knopp and Zalman King.
Oh, she's Zalman King's daughter. Oh,
Yep.
you go and produce your daddy's porn show and write for it? What the fuck?
Yep.
It's like a
Oh,
door.
hey, Chloe, how's it going today? I'm fine, Daddy. Oh, so you're feeling a little kinky, a little perverted? Every day, Daddy. Oh, great. Write me some smut, will you?
But Zalman King was also Balon in Galaxy of Terror.
No, yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
was going to
And
say.
the
Zalman
producer
King, I
for
like him as an
9.5 Weeks.
actor. No, dude. Well, yeah, he wrote 9.5 Weeks. No, but dude, Blue Sunshine. He was in Blue Sunshine.
Mm.
Like, as an actor, he is super appealing. I just wish, I just would rather not watch the smut that he writes. I mean, I like 9.5 Weeks, but the other ones, like Two Moon Junction, those are kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Didn't you come up with a version called 9.5 Leaks?
Yeah, well, I use that as a title.
Oh.
I had one of my stuffed animal movies that I made you watch, that I made with my brother, was based on H. Rider Haggard books. It was called 9.5 Leaks, and we had chapter stoppers with urination.
That makes sense now.
apparently her mom was also a writer for 9.5 Weeks, and Zalman King's wife, and also a producer on Red Shoe Diaries.
Wow.
So getting to write smut for your mom and dad's show, I mean, that's gotta be there's the pinnacle of success.
It's the Doherty effect. You work with your
For those folks
children
that don't know,
business.
Zalman King usually has this format, right, where there's this expressive, sensuous woman meets this sort of a jackass man who's there to free her sexual whatever the hell, and then he like goes away or something, and she's all effed up or kills herself.
I thought you were talking about the obligation they have to do the Prince Ali song every time he enters a room. It goes, "Make way for Mr. Ali."
Did you know the song "Purple Rain" is actually about being a single father?
Oh, fuck you.
Yes, yes. Please tell us more about why you would say that.
Well, let me tell you about the numbers first here. I gotta get these numbers
know that,
out.
but I also want to know, was this an actual made-for-TV first movie? Because these were commercial breaks in the movie.
No, I think that's just ineptitude. So in this country, it did go to on demand, and quotes. Wikipedia claimed it went to select theaters, but when I went to Box Office Mojo, I did not find any domestic release information. So that might be just a Hollywood premiere or just one theater.
Well,
if it's one screen, it's not really a release.
At a film festival, apparently Lindsay Lohan announced that she was set to produce and star in it.
Yeah, this was going to be her project originally, and that didn't work out for some reason.
A lot of things didn't work out for her.
I Know Who Killed Me was so good.
We love you, Lindsay.
We actually we have some rare information on this one for the recent Cage movies. We actually have a reported budget.
Yeah.
Oh,
this movie somehow close. The $12.8 million somehow is what this cost.
What? Did they spend it all?
Can you guess the worldwide gross? Possibly.
Worldwide gross? 65,000.
No, actually more.
I'm gonna say 150,000.
120.
No, actually more.
No
200?
$259,000 worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah, that's somehow it mentioned. So, as usual, I guess you guys can guess what country this movie did the best in.
Kazakhstan?
Once again, it's the United Arab Emirates. United Arab Emirates, where apparently Nicolas Cage will always be king.
Excellent.
But it opened at number 8 there.
Oh, jeez.
Behind Spider-Man Homecoming and Despicable Me 3 and Role Models.
This is another one where, and if it's not too late to tell you guys, listeners, don't bother watching it. Just don't.
It's free to watch, but you're really better off not.
Yeah, your time isn't free.
That's actually
if
true.
You have a cell phone
and
a drone and some friends, you could have made this movie yourself.
Again, that's true, Donnie? And not true.
What's the price?
$3.99 is the price of your life, or you can watch it for free. We learned this last night on Amazon. They, for some unforeseeable reason, decided to let Lucifer take charge of this film, and you can either give them money to watch this piece of shit, or you can watch the exact same movie for free. There's two options.
Lucifer, friend of the show.
Yeah, because if they have two different video releases of the same film, they'll classify them as different movies.
And I just, why?
I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's something that they should probably sort out. Although it worked out for me because I didn't have to pay any $3.99.
Yeah. I was just honestly wondering if there was like a longer cut or maybe something that didn't have fucking obviously made commercial breaks in the goddamn movie.
Well, this was another one.
I think that's just the sheer ineptitude.
This was just another one where they could have taken Cage's character out completely and it would not have made a difference.
No, not at all.
No, she needed a supportive husband to completely disbelieve her and call her an addict.
Whenever we see him, he's drinking. So I call them drunk dad. Or drinking dad.
They're living at his mom's fucking mansion, right?
Yes.
Which is probably the producer's mansion, which is in fucking Ohio, by the way. We're adding a new state to our Nicolas Cage cinematic thing here. So old Faye Dunaway is his rich ass mom, in her 70s there, and his wife Gina Gershon's a doctor, and he goes off and he says at one point that he's taking the day off. So I guess we're led to believe that he does something for work.
He's a doctor,
like maybe
isn't he?
Is he a doctor too?
They're both doctors.
Did they say that? They say that he's a doctor. I completely missed that.
Yeah, in the beginning, I think she says well, hello, Doctor so-and-so. And he goes, oh, hello, Doctor so-and-so.
Yes. And then when he takes off on his motorcycle, which really was odd because he looked at it like it wasn't even his, and then he takes off on it.
Yeah,
it's like,
right
don't
when he
kill
comes
yourself,
up,
Doctor,
it's
blah, blah,
like...
blah.
So
After
I
he
couldn't
talks
watch
about
this in
Purple
order.
Rain for no apparent reason.
I'd seen later scenes before I saw earlier scenes, so the first time I saw him walk up at the motorcycle, I thought that was Cage reacting to like her friend being over or something.
Yeah, that's why I have to admit this now because I'm not going to do like the CIA did when they did their testing, but I've actually been conducting public testing with friends where I found this movie was free, and once I verified it was free, I'm like, hey, you guys, watch this. I got 5 people to watch this. And
what?
Yes, 5 souls dedicated their time to watch this with me because I lied and said, I've totally never seen this before. Let's watch it together. Like, oh, this is for your podcast? Like, yeah, let's watch it. Every single one of them had the same reaction where they're like, oh, hey, is he looking at that bike like he's going to fuck someone up? Like there's like some other guy banging his wife? Or, oh, is this like somebody coming over to inseminate his wife because he can't get his dick up? It's like, no, it's his bike.
Like him finding the pool boy's pack of cigarettes?
Yeah, it's like, no, it's his bike. Like, oh, okay. And then it's like, oh, hey, he saw the new girl come over that's staying in their guest room. He saw her tits. And, oh, does that mean they're going to be like banging? Is she going to do like a hand that rocks the cradle thing? No. Oh, okay. It's like, oh my God, is he banging her? Like, did they skip over an entire secret relationship? Oh no, she's a lesbian.
Banging somebody, and it's shot in such a way that we don't know who he's banging.
Yes, it's like all these things happen, and it's just so many misdirections. Like, oh, this is gonna end up like blah blah blah. It's like, no, it's just things happen. And my favorite comment that was made, and I started agreeing with, was that I kept saying, like, was this on Lifetime? Because it had commercial breaks. And someone's like, no, maybe it was an experimental filming method where they implanted a camera into the eye of the cameraman. And every time he got tired is when he saw the screen fade for a commercial and then lift back up.
This isn't good enough to be on Lifetime.
It's not. Even Lifetime would have something happen.
There's only okay, so there's like 2 locations.
Yes.
Right? So there's like the park where all the mommies hang out, and it's like, you know, go away, mommies. And then they're just hanging around the mansion, which they don't have a crane, so they just keep shooting with a drone.
Yeah.
And it's really, really obvious, you know, like there are ways to use those.
And there's so many things they just threw out the window that could have been of use, or you're just like, okay, the one time they go to take this woman's picture and she blocks her face, and you don't know until 30 minutes are left in an hour and a half, almost 2-hour movie that, hey, I just realized she doesn't like her face being shown. Just like the same when the woman decides, hey, our surrogate mother died mysteriously. We don't know what happened there, but we're going to have this girl. We're going to have this girl that we don't know shit about carry our child. And then 9 months into this pregnancy, she decides, we don't know anything about this woman. Yeah, she could be a psychopath. Like, bitch, you knew what this was when you started it.
Meanwhile, they barely acknowledge a passage of time from the death.
Yeah.
There's no acknowledgement.
Their friend who they know from much longer.
Yeah.
And the whole time Faye Dunaway was like, I don't know, I think she's evil.
Yeah, there's no acknowledgement at all.
She gives me the willies. She's probably evil. It's like, nah, it's fine. And then people at different times take turns deciding she's evil, but then later on they're like, nah, she cool. She cool.
And I love Faye Dunaway, but she was another one that, like, take her character out, no fucking difference.
No. They what they needed was to give her more to do.
Yes.
For one thing, it's like when you have a movie about a psychopath, you have to have a body count. This piece of shit has a body count of 3, and 2 of those bodies are in flashback, which is just cheating, you sons of bitches. But no, Faye Dunaway should have amped up the suspicion, and she should have been a victim.
It would have fit, and I would have absolutely believed it if she literally had just said, I got the test results back and I have cancer, because that's as useless as her character was in this movie.
Definitely cancer.
You know, part of the reason she's so useless on this is that on the shoot she broke her fucking leg. And Jonathan Baker's like, no, keep her in. Just rewrite it so she's always sitting. Yeah, she has a broken fucking leg. So she's always in a chair. And she's all like, oh, I have dementia and I'm knitting and your friend's evil. She's going to take your soul out and steal your baby. No, don't listen to me.
Oh, Jesus.
But kids at home, fucking Faye Dunaway from Network and Chinatown and Bonnie and Clyde and the fucking Thomas Crown Affair and fucking Mommy
Network.
Dearest.
And mom and dad's sexual fantasies.
Yeah, it's like fucking Faye Dunaway, the villain from Supergirl.
God damn it!
One of the greatest actresses of her time, Isadora Mars, is just hanging out in this movie, just sort of collecting dust in the corner, like, I'm still here. back in my day, I had many gentlemen callers.
She really does have dementia, though, because, yeah, she goes from, I don't trust this bitch, to, you just stop being mean to her.
Yeah, because they're like, well, we don't know anything about her. It's like, we know she fled an abusive relationship. It's like, no, Faye Dunaway, she told you she fled an abusive relationship.
And I like in the beginning how she's the mother, when they first show her, she's like, I like her so much better than your wife.
I'm talking nice about her because she's at the table right
this
now.
Woman can cook. You can't even order McDonald's.
She gives me the willies.
I used to be able to cook before I busted my legs off.
But Gina Gershon, like, totally fucking carries this movie to term. Like, it's on her shoulder. She is the
I'd like to say a word about the mother of this movie, Gina Gershon.
Oh,
I will add to your word, but please do.
Yeah, please do. But the thespian Gina Gershon was born in Los Angeles in 1962. So this is a rare case where Cage is with a woman who's actually age appropriate to him. We know her from Face Off. We saw her in that, and from The Insider. And she and Jennifer Tilly had to have sex in Bound. You may recall.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't most of her movies the erotic thrillers? I mean,
well, she was in Showgirls. Thank you for mentioning. And appropriately enough, she appeared in a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode called Anonymous Donor.
Wow.
What did you want to add about Gina Gershon, Donnie?
The fact that 5 people can no longer watch anything with her anymore, now that I said she has cat lips. Where it's like a cat, how they have really puffy upper lip that goes into like their cheeks.
Oh,
and it just looks like if you just put little dots for whiskers, I'd believe she was half cat.
Yeah, she always did have a certain kind of mouth, and it's sort of increased through the years.
I think she's gorgeous. Like, I don't know.
Well, I'm not saying she's ugly.
We're not saying that she's not. We're saying that she has a distinctive feature.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all.
Donnie and I can't
it's
really
not,
talk.
It's not like
can't judge on lips. I mean,
it's not like she's.
What
it's
are you
not
saying?
like she's effed up looking like Linda Hamilton or frickin' Cynthia Rothrock. No, it looks fine on her. It's just saying like. Unlike a lot of generic actresses, you can actually distinguish Gina Gershon when you look at her face.
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
But
it's not a bad thing. I'm not dissing Gina Gershon.
But I will diss that she did not carry this movie to term. She was just fucking awful. She was a soccer mom drunk bitch. I didn't like her.
Acting, I feel like she acted the shit out of her role.
She tried acting her way out of a wet paper bag, beating it with a noodle that was al dente at best. It's like with the material she had, I know, right? Al dente
I debate whether or not it's her fault.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the material she had, it's just, this was fucking horrid. I mean, she was
because we don't know what Chloe King's script looked like originally.
No.
Maybe it was more of an erotic thriller.
Yeah,
I don't know. A lot of people complained apparently that this was not erotic enough.
That's just it.
And Jonathan Baker is not a director.
It's kind of like what Donnie was saying earlier. There's just a bunch of shit in here that could have led to something else, but just has nothing to do with the plot.
Exactly.
It would have helped if they had a dedicated aesthetic and a tone. They're doing the general thing where they try to make everything look quote unquote good, which means they shoot in HD and use a yellow filter for everything, and so you have these freaking domestic bliss backlit breakfast scenes where everybody's having orange juice and orange omelets and their orange faces and their sparkly white smiles like McG shot it.
Oh, and honestly, speaking of, sorry, go ahead, Donnie.
No, go ahead, Linda. Go ahead, because this is gonna be a rant.
I was just going to say that
make room for the rant.
Our villainess is playing Katie is Nicky Whelan.
Yeah,
Nicky Whelan from Australia.
And
Australia.
I cannot do Australian accent, huh? How about that?
That's all right. That's why I'm here.
She's done a lot of Hallmark movies,
and we saw it before.
But you may remember her from Left Behind.
Yep.
And there's one other Cage movie she did.
Oh, right. Yes.
Choking on Cage's fingers.
Yes. Yes, and Dog Eat Dog.
Yeah. So in
Yeah.
Dog Eat Dog, she was cast just fine. I totally believe that she was an idiot sex worker.
Honestly, I believed her more than I did the other actress.
Really?
No, that's the trouble.
Yes.
The trouble with this, but it's a fine line. It's a fine line, Donnie. Like I believe her being a psycho.
Yeah.
But I don't believe an audience being expected to watch her and enjoy a movie for 90 minutes because I like the way she is. It's not as if she wasn't acting, but it's just the way she is. Like the way the good Lord made her is that she's very grating. And plus, they have all those close-ups of her ultra blue eyes
Yes,
with
that
the
really was
contacts
just
in them,
horrible.
and it's all like, will
Yeah.
somebody put a cigar out on that, please? My God!
How you felt about her acting is how I felt about the lead actress because the
Gina
best
Gershon?
way, yes, the best way I could put every scene she did is if you've ever been in an acting class and they have you act out random scenes. That's how this movie felt with her acting in it. That she was
it's
just
like Roddy
acting,
McDowell in Shock Mom.
Yes, she was just reacting to certain scenes, and it just felt really disjointed and out
That's
of place.
what acting is.
But
Well, there's another little tidbit I learned about this production is that originally they were going to do a month production schedule and it got slashed to 15 days.
Yeah.
It's
Holy
entirely
shit.
possible that none of these people had
That's-
seen an entire script.
that's what
and
I'm
they
saying.
probably didn't see the pages
Oh.
until the day.
Yes.
So it might not be their fault in that sense too, where they're just trying to wing it.
It's just everything
You know.
she does. I'm not even trying to be funny. It's like it literally is comparable to how Tommy Wiseau acted when he was hooking up the
God.
recorder to the answering machine on the phone so he could record the conversations. Because the amount of dedication she puts into acting these scenes, it's horrible. It literally is like going to an improv group and then they tell you, okay, we want you to break into your guest house, but all the locks have been changed and you have to now bust open a window and cut yourself and go through their files and get really upset about it. And she's just so casual the entire time.
The part where she's trying to get through the screen, and I it took me a minute to tumble
That's
up to
fair.
what she was doing. I'm like, what's she doing right now? Is she trying to get a moth out of there, or
Yeah, but
what's happening?
I mean, it's just like everything she does, how she reacts. It's kind of funny because I believe her to an extent to be like a soccer mom. It's like in the beginning, it kind of came off like a low rent play where it's like,
yeah.
oh, hey, so you're the girl I heard so much about. Oh, okay, I guess we're gonna be friends. And
And that was Natalie Ava Marie, who is a
Okay.
wrestler.
Yeah, I looked her up. No,
Yeah.
she actually does something. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's gorgeous, but also
well,
she's not a terrible actress, but definitely not the strongest actress either.
Well, they gave her god awful lines.
she
I don't
was,
think it's
she
her
did,
fault.
Yeah.
she still did better than the lead fucking actress. But at the same time, it's like I felt bad.
Well, they
for
gave her a
her.
lot less to do.
I felt bad
but,
for her
you know.
because why did they make her run down the beach in that top with her big jugglies just jubilating around?
Yeah, no,
That
that
had
was
to
Jonathan
hurt.
Baker's idea. It's like, okay, so I want you to zip up around your melons, all right? Yeah, slow.
I did get worried for her because, you know, you guys wouldn't know, but as an Oman, you have to get the right sports bra for running.
That's what I was
because,
saying.
Otherwise,
Did she not have the
it
right
breaks
sports bra?
down that tissue, and
Yes.
you never get that back.
That's what I'm saying.
You
I
get
said I
saggy
felt
boobies.
sorry and I worried about her because of this.
A
But-
sports bra can rip up your breastises?
No,
I mean, there's so
running
many-
can. I mean,
Yeah,
boom, boom,
absolutely.
boom, 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 boom.
Well,
For those of us who are
But-
blessed.
Yeah, and it's same with men having to find seats that aren't going to make us infertile if we ride bikes our whole lives.
Well, yeah. The
Yeah, but still, it's like certain
Right on the
scenes
taint.
and just how they acted out. I mean, okay, I know I've been in this position, unfortunately, and had to go to the hospital. But if you have had a fuck ton of drugs in your system and you can't even focus, let alone walk straight, are you seriously going to drive yourself in a fucking car?
Okay, thank you for bringing that up,
shit.
because we saw that the lady drugged Gina Gershon's
Yes.
coffee, and now she's in a vehicle. We're gonna have a scene like
no,
they have in thrillers
It wasn't
where
even,
she's driving.
yeah, it wasn't
and
even
it's
coffee,
scary
dude. These
'cause
people are
she's losing
upscale.
control.
Yeah, they're upscale.
It was what?
It was
Carrot
carrot juice.
juice,
They're
yeah.
upscale.
Oh, for fuck! Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
That
they're
leads
a
into
Whole
the other thing where
Foods
it's like,
family.
these people are rich as fuck, and I don't feel bad for them that they can't have kids. Fuck them.
It's like, yeah,
But no, it's like if you
oh.
if you drug somebody and put them in a car, you got to have the scene where they're like they're having drug vision and they're
Yes,
trying not
yes.
to wipe out.
Yes.
When it's not going to cost that much.
Yeah,
Like,
you
no,
don't just
I-
like go to the next scene where she wakes up on the side
yeah,
of the
she's
road.
just fine. And it's like, this is supposed to be a thriller. Like, freaking Neil Breen would have had the car scene,
Yeah,
even.
well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, because my headaches got so fucking bad, I have cluster migraines. I was taking CBD to help with that. And this douchebag at the counter gave me like 99.8% pure THC. And when I took that at a normal dose I would take of CBD, I was so fucking out of it, I couldn't hold a water bottle with both hands to drink because I felt like I had no bones. And I had to fucking call my mom, which is awesome, to say, yeah, I need to go to the hospital because I feel like I'm dying and my
I'm high
heart
as
is
fuck.
slowing down. And
The pharmacist set
it's
you
like
up and you
they-
had to have your stomach pumped?
it's like, no, when I got to the hospital, they did diagnose me with an overdose of THC. And I'm like,
my
okay,
God.
well, I'm not touching any of this shit any fucking more. Fuck that.
Fully
Because
legal
that
in
was
Washington
not
State.
awesome. And it's
See,
like,
kids,
all-
that's why you don't do drugs.
exactly. Even if it helps you, which is like, hey, that's great that it helps people, but this was a real big fuck up. And I'm like, remembering how I felt with that and the fact that I had to call someone because one, I felt like I was dying, and two, I couldn't hold a water bottle, let alone walk. I'm like, you can't take fucking pills like that and then go, whoa, I'm a little wobbly. I feel like I've had 2 fucking magnums
Also,
of champagne.
She's a full-on doctor who has a
Yes.
history of substance
Yes.
abuse and works in a
Fucking
hospital.
yes.
You think she could have been like MacGyvering that shit, right?
She
Like,
should have
I know
known
exactly
that she
what to
was
take
high
to
as
balance my
fuck.
shit.
But
Yes.
Like, she
no.
distracts the guy and gets to the back of the ambulance and she's like shooting different stuff into her arm.
See,
It's like,
like,
dude,
literally,
I
She
was trying
goes-
to
checking her heart
play
rate.
devil's advocate at first, thinking like, well, she doesn't know what's going on, and maybe it's just starting to take effect. Maybe she thinks she's just a little under the weather or something. But then I was thinking, like, I thought of that. Like, well, no, she's a recovering drug
Yes.
addict.
yeah, she's
And a
so she would have been
doctor.
like, mother's milk.
And then she goes
Yeah.
and drives herself and then wakes up and it literally is like
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong with, hey, are we parked, man? It's like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
parked in the middle of the fucking road.
They had to do one of two things. They had to
Does
either have the
not
sweet
hear
car
me.
chase type thing and do something to pay us off for having watched this 90 minutes of junk where people sit around talking.
Mhm.
But-
Or they needed to have the bit where her doctor skills with a Z
Yeah.
come into use and she starts to turn the tables for once instead of just sort of like casually waking up and then going home. It's like, I got drugged, so I'm going to have a freak out at the surprise party in front of all my friends in which I'm going to look way crazier than I am. You're an addict. You used to
you're an addict.
betrayed
Oh
us.
my
It's like,
God.
I don't trust you. I trust the stranger instead.
two fucking scenes, okay? When she is throwing away the pills that she got because like, oh, I don't want to do this because I don't want to ruin my life. And then the other woman sees her like, ugh, you fucking addict. And she tells her, I got these pills because your freak out gave me an anxiety attack and I now have to take these pills. It's like,
Mhm.
you have such
You got
hard
triggered, and
line.
that triggered me.
You have such hard line, easily triggered anxiety, and you're a fucking doctor? It's like, these things don't match. And then at the same time, you're just like, fuck it, I'll just throw it away because I'm white
It's
and rich.
different when it's her patients, Donnie.
Yeah.
She's all like, oh, yeah, call it,
Yeah,
whatever.
the
I
only
like an early
time
lunch.
she said anything doctor-like was the equivalent of Lisa going, you're right, computers is just not a good business right now. It's like the same thing when the doctor's like, I think she should be taking something for pain and also anxiety. She's like, that's
Yes.
exactly what I was going to do. It's like,
Yeah,
no,
bitch, don't do
shut
my
up.
job. Like, I went to med school too.
But my favorite fucking scene, because again, it made no sense in why he did this, was when she comes home to her surprise baby shower and starts screaming at everyone that this bitch stole somebody's kid. And okay, I take that back. She wasn't screaming. She was politely raising her voice. And then Nicolas Cage flips
And
the
making
switch. She's
insane
like, bitch, I will
allegations. Yeah.
show you how to do insane.
Yes.
And starts telling everyone, fucking leave. Leave now.
This is a yelling
You're an
contest,
addict.
and I'm going
You're
to
an
win
addict.
it.
It's like, I don't
I'm in
want
this
my
movie
wife
too.
to make a scene. Get the fuck out.
My wife, who's messed up, by the way, she's unhinged, everybody.
Drink in hand, by the way.
She's taking pills.
She can't cook or paint a mural. She's awful.
Oh my fucking god, please. If, again, 5 people in a fucking test of watching this, and we all agreed this bitch says she's a wonderful artist. She only draws one fucking thing. 3 fucking times.
Tree over and over again.
It's like, that's the only thing she knows.
And it's not even that good.
Surrogate service.
It's not that good.
The same shitty handprint mural that's on my wall. Can you give me information? No, we can't give you any information about the artist who happens to be one of our donors. And we can't tell you about either. I mean, oops.
Okay, I honestly thought of you, Adrian, when she called that lady at the donors clinic. Because how many fucking people would you call, even to pay like a bill that goes, oh, I'm sorry, you can't talk to this age anymore. Oh, why? Oh, they passed. I'm sorry. Oh, what happened? Oh, they committed suicide. You don't sound sure of that. It's like, what the fuck are you
love
doing?
life.
Well, I can't give out any confidential information right now, but here's how it be.
Yeah,
man,
this
didn't touch a
bitch.
drop. All of a sudden, they say he drunk behind the wheel. I say that's bullshit. It's a setup.
It's like, I
See
can't
right
tell
through
you
it?
nothing. You didn't hear nothing from me, but
He used to live at 1509 Passover Lane. That's right. No, not that one on the other side of town. This here's the east one, see? Yep. Up on the hill by where there used to be that lighthouse type restaurant.
It just made no sense. It's like, okay, you show a flashback of the family that she drowned the mother and stabbed the father in the beginning. They had the mural in the background. Then you go and flash forward. She's made the same mural in the background for this family. She also used the same mural on the nameplate for Gabriel, their unborn son. She also made the same thing
room.
for the fucking clinic. It's like, she can't do shit else.
One thing I love
straight up
yes
is when she's like sanding the wall down and Gina Gershon comes in. It's just this plain white wall, and Gina Gershon really comes in and says, "Looking good." Like, what?
That's when they should have had a conversation like, I haven't started yet. It's like, oh, you sure? I thought you were doing like one of those Piet Mondrian type of things. No? It's like, no, I paint trees.
We should also
get the fuck out.
You said you paint trees. It's just one tree. I've painted it many times.
She's one of those artists who on the street where they got the lines of trees, they paint the white stripe around it.
Well,
so speaking of shit being hideous, though, and how this movie has the same aesthetic as The Last Vampire on Earth.
Oh god.
This movie was shot by cinematographer Brandon Cox, who we know because he also shot Arsenal and other movies directed by Stephen C. Miller. Yeah, Arsenal the Eyesore.
And we should say that the character Linda, what up? Played by Natalie Ava Marie, the wrestler. Another strange choice because it sounds like she is a physical fitness coach.
Yeah.
But she's like she was friends with the both of them, and she decided that they were destined to be best friends.
Well, no, I believe she said she started a company called Mommy and Me. And it's like she started out in the gym helping, and then she said she wanted to she put 2 and 2 together. She's like, there was a lot of apparently moms at the gym trying to work off their baby bellies. And it's just vaguely put together. But she does mention it because that explains why later on you have the whole circle of moms dancing to the generic song, which this entire movie has generic song number 5 and number 3.
Oh, in that awful one over the end credits.
Don't look at me like that.
Yes, it was definitely Hallmark Lifetime music.
And over the end credits, they keep half fading in on her eyeballs again, and it's like, put those eyes out with a poker.
This is not The Great Gatsby, motherfucker. It's like, you
Yeah,
don't
it's-
focus on the goddamn eyes, but they had
Funny
to.
you should mention that, though. Like earlier this week, I watched Elia Kazan's "The Last Tycoon" with Robert De Niro and Jack Nicholson, and that was a good movie, unlike this one.
Well, the character Linda is she's been telling
Blast.
both of them about each other because they should be best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And as it turns out, the Katie has been having she's been
Marital.
sleeping with her.
It turns out Linda and Katie are doing it. Sweet love, yeah.
And Gina Gershon catches them having doings, but you can't see Linda. You could just see her hand, and it's obviously a woman's hand and like a beautiful woman's leg.
For
But
some reason, I didn't pick that up. I just saw she's on a body, and I make no assumption about gender.
I feel
Linda.
bad about it, but when I saw that leg, I legitimately thought it was a hairy leg at first. I was just like, "Is that
Well,
Nick Cage?"
well,
No.
This is also through a few different filters, right? So
Yeah.
like there are times where it just sort of spoils things. Like there's a half-assed iris effect sometimes. Like in the opening, we're in a dark house with an iris effect laid on top of it, so it's almost like it's a test for night blindness.
Yeah.
Now I think this is supposed to be to obscure the character's identity, but if they knew what the fuck they were doing, they would have just done that with lighting.
Yes, Linda.
And what I was trying to say is that, like, okay, yeah,
Sorry.
you're right. It could be a man, but it is most definitely not fucking Nicolas Cage. It is definitely
no, I
not
never-
his
I never thought it was
fucking hand or
Cage,
leg. And
You don't know.
so-
He's versatile.
she's,
you're imagining like an afro and chest hair popping up.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh yeah, I was like, oh,
he's
man.
he's a quite hirsute fellow. And
We've seen his body a few times by now.
and so I mean, at least, like, she should be thinking, like, funny, I don't remember Brian shaving his legs before, but
Yeah.
he
You're right, though. That's the first thing she thinks.
yeah, she thinks that Katie's screwing her husband, Brian, Nicolas Cage. And
She obviously thinks that she waxed him first.
Well,
yeah.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Then Katie's like, but I'm the one who waxes him. And then Katie says, like, oh, you thought I was sleeping with your husband? And she decides not to tell her for whatever reason that it's not Linda, because they want to keep that secret. I don't know
Yeah, they wanna-
why.
yeah,
That's
and at the
supposed to be
same
like a little
time,
bombshell for later.
the thing we're kind of saving our listeners from right now is that you would think, with her thinking, "Oh, my stars and bars, that's my husband she's sleeping with," it would have been something like slow burning. She'd be really pissed off at Nicolas Cage and have a conversation about it. But no, what we have is two things that happen that seem to happen over the span of maybe one night, where Nicolas Cage is like smooching on her, like, "Oh, baby, I want
Oh.
to put my dingus in your dangus." And it's like, "No, I just had like a miscarriage and it's totes and a propes." And he's like, "Oh, fine, whatever." And then we go to the next day and she comes home. There's music coming, banging out of the walls from the guest house. And she sees the woman
Generic
riding
music.
someone else. So she's like, "Oh my God, that's my husband." Then literally 5 seconds later, she sees her mom with the two kids talking about how they just got back with their dad from having a day at the beach. And that's it. It's completely dropped. And then that night, she's like, "Oh, well, since I know it wasn't you fucking our new friend, I'm going to give you the sexin." And she puts on her like hottest mom lingerie, which was pretty hot. And then they go and put the dingus in the dangus.
Well, I can
Knowing
get
what
that
we
because
know,
she's like all I don't know, self-conscious and thinking, like, I think
Yeah.
that made her
She
start
was
thinking,
the
like,
entire
well,
time.
Well, if they made the movie them putting us more into her head, that would have worked some more.
Yes.
You know, if,
Yeah,
if we
which
if we
again,
started
yeah.
feeling that insecurity.
That's what kind of got me too. Is like, even again, ideas that didn't play out fully. It's like when she knew she threw away those pills. It's like you had to have been there to think this too. That when the mom threw away the pills and she saw that, and then
In
the
that
very next
scene,
scene,
though.
she's like coming out of the car and the
Yes.
bad bitch has a thing of pills. It's like, oh my God, is she going to set her up? Is this going to be like setting up all of her anxiety and all of her paranoias because she's high? No, it's just set on good faith. And it's
when
like,
she throws the pills away, she puts her whole arm into the trash can, and then she touches her face afterwards. And I'm like, no.
But then
It set off my OCD
that brought
all
up
the way
the
right
question
there.
with me of like, how the fuck does she know that they're pills for anxiety or for pain pills? And how the fuck does she how can she assume that they were for her?
yes.
Yeah, and why did they use the same plot as Jupiter Ascending? What the hell?
Now, something I want your guys' impression of this as well, because it kind of made me laugh at first. But after the whole big blow up at the bridal shower, baby shower,
Baby shower,
and the woman stabs herself on the knife and then does the worst throw of my shoulder into a refrigerator because, oh my God, you're psycho and you hurt me.
Brian, she's killing me with a knife.
Yes. And then she stabs Gershon, and Nicolas Cage pretends that she's dead. He's like, "Oh my gosh, she died."
Oh God, yes.
They lie to the audience too.
He
because
goes
the doctor
into
comes in
the
like vaguely
delivery
shakes
room.
his head.
He goes in his delivery room with the blonde, and she's like, "Stay at my side," and like kisses him full on the lips.
Yes.
Yeah. Then she's all like, "This could happen with us." Yeah.
And I'm like,
anything to stay near the daughter you made out of my eggs.
Yes.
I'll go both ways. I'm AC/DC.
And it's like watching this, and I'm like, okay, is he now aware what's going to happen and he's going to be killed? Or do they actually have an affair? But then they're like, aha, we shamalama ding-donged you because we're going to show you the baby. And I'm going to say, do you like her? Did you get a good look at him? It's the last look you'll ever get. It's like,
I knew the whole
what do you
fucking
mean?
time.
Well, I should have
that,
thought it was obvious, but I'm going to go rub it in right now.
Yes, Sundar?
I knew the whole fucking time what they were doing. That, I mean, it was like so, like you could see it from a mile away that like that
his
she wasn't
reactions
really dead. And because I looked in and I was like, well, we've got like 8 minutes, so yeah, she's not dead. But then like I was thinking, like, what the fuck was the point with like know Adrian saying like they lied to the audience where like they show the doctor just
cheap.
shaking his head.
It's cheap, yeah.
And like what the fuck was he shaking his head about? Like, oh, not good news. Turns out your babysitter nanny surrogate's crazy fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Did
Was that
anybody else
Obama
kind of
playing the
think
doctor?
when Cage
I got
walks
your
in the
test
room,
results and your baby. Here's a crazy
he
bitch.
holds up the baby. He holds up the baby for Katie to see, and he's holding the baby's little vulnerable head in his hands and looking at her like he wants to murder her. And she can't get into the room. Did anybody else think that just maybe, yeah, you know what you don't get? Crunch.
Yes. I honestly thought he was going to kill the fucking baby. And I'm like, do you see? Do you see? I was like, crack. And start drinking
You
its
only
vital
had
fluids.
one egg left, but I got lots of sperm.
He's like,
And I
he's
don't
gonna
know if
hold
you
her and
guys
say, like,
noticed.
make a wish.
If they had done that, this movie would have redeemed itself 100%.
But I don't know if you guys noticed, but in that scene where they're showing the
I
nursery,
guess it was a bad egg.
God damn it!
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Don't.
Okay.
I want
They
to-
show there's a big banner in the nursery saying,
Oh,
"Welcome
God,
to the
yeah.
world, Gabriel."
Yeah. Like, fuck all the other kids.
I thought like the only reason that would make sense is if it was just like this big ass monitor and just like the latest
Yes.
fetus to roll in got one of those like welcome to the world Zebediah, welcome
'Cause
to the
I know
world
that, like,
Jaden
They're
and
all
Brayden.
friends and stuff, apparently, but like and coworkers. But at the same time, like, why?
Did you see what the other sign in the birth room said though?
Wash your hands.
In big ass letters, it revealed to us that this is called the Christ Hospital.
Oh God. No, I was just thinking, like, do they set up cameras at the birth where it's kind of like the rides at Disneyland where they take a picture of you when you're going down Splash Mountain? And it's like the moment you come out of the vagina, they like snap a picture, and then they're like having the picture hover over your baby. Like everybody can see your spread out bloody business and the shit that you popped out when you give birth.
Okay, so you see how the baby now kind of looks like a child and an old man, the way babies tend to look? Look at the way when it came out. Oh, look, isn't that awful? Ah, man, it's like a turkey ripped open or something. Oh, my God. Look, just smeared in fluids. And look, he made a number 2 while he was inside there. Oh, my God.
I loved it.
Baby
when
was screaming, and so was I.
I loved it when he locked the door and she just kind of shuffles over like, hey, I want it. Oh, let me in.
I'm literally just recovering from a C-section, which is getting ripped the heck open, but I'm going to stand up and walk, even though certain muscle groups need a lot of weeks to recover.
She's got the power of crazy on her side.
Apparently, yeah. Well,
They show,
they could have used that more.
Her little sort of backstory, I guess, where
semi-backstory.
Yeah, it was really kind of pretty fucking terrible. Like she was at the gynecologist or the OBGYN, and he says something like, well, the infection's so bad that you can't produce any more eggs. And,
your ovaries are like going ovaries right now.
And then she's like, I didn't know if it was like the OBGYN or not, because she was screaming at them. It's like, you said this would be safe.
You said it was safe.
It's like,
Yeah,
okay, I
don't-
thought taking out your eggs was a little bit more of a procedure, I guess, unless she went like behind the Arby's or something, they did it.
You know,
Well,
you
it
could
did
get
look- they made it look
drunk
dark.
to change selling those eggs. Like she
Yeah.
probably was not disadvantaged financially.
Even
I mean-
so, and I'm sure Linda also was like, what the fuck on this, is the fact that, because again, they don't really give a passage of time. The mom admits she had 4 or 5 miscarriages, and then she's like, hey, I got a baby, we're expecting, and then, oh no, I had a miscarriage. We're gonna still have a baby though, because fuck you.
because
It's
sexy Linda's gonna have it.
Yes.
Yeah, and Gina Gershon, how do you feel about your impending pregnancy? It's like, well, I'm nearing 60, but I'm gonna give it a try.
It's like,
I was
know
thinking
there's
that. I was thinking, like, they can. We do have
And
technology.
I don't
want
to get on her for being
science.
old, really.
No, I mean,
people
I
in their
don't-
50s do have babies.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, we have science and we have medicine that can help
Yeah.
women have babies at an older
Orgasms?
age. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
also thinking,
yeah.
like, well, why didn't you just try for the surrogate from the get-go?
Yeah, but again, I'm just like, you just had a miscarriage.
Well,
and the way this film is made is like a day or two, maybe 3 days after, and you're like, okay, well, we're having Linda go and do this, and we got like one more egg left we can do this with. It's like, and you're a doctor? It's like they're not questioning the state of your mental health at this point, and that you're not wanting to take any time off to like recover, to think about this, to
Yeah.
give yourself time. It's just like, no, I want this baby, and I want this baby now.
Well, I don't. Was it ever explained
me
if
on.
anything happened to Gina Gershon's eggs to make that not viable? Because like she's
No.
never using her own.
See, that's
No.
the
Like
thing.
that
because,
isn't
like,
that didn't seem to be addressed. And I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, well, you just put her stuff and Cage's stuff into their friend
Yeah.
Linda there, and then disassociate yourselves really quickly with the blonde lady, and it's not her egg anymore, even though they don't know
Yeah.
that.
Because I was thinking that, like, I was pretty much thinking that along the same lines, like, okay, well, she's older, so I get that. That's cool. But, like, like, they excuse why she can't carry a baby, but they
Yeah,
don't
she can't
say,
carry, but
They don't say, like, that there's something
because
wrong.
eggs remain viable, they just sort of sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like so
I thought,
she
yeah.
ended up getting like implantation before, but like I don't know. I think that the
It's-
problem
it-
is like
it might be a missing scene.
to make sense out of this fucking movie is just to look at the
Yeah,
mouth of
we're
madness, I
probably
think.
paying more attention than Jonathan Baker did.
You're better off
And,
watching the French movie Inside. That'll be a much
Ooh.
better experience. Actually, no. If you're a woman, don't watch that movie.
So
I've literally been
Katie-
told if you watch it as a date night movie, you are never getting laid, and it has traumatized many women.
Watch Evil Dead Trap 2. That's just as fun.
What was the
Jesus.
point behind Linda's character though? Because at first I was thinking like, okay, that
Disposable
Plot
victim.
device.
And plot device to
Yeah.
introduce Katie.
Yeah.
well, I was thinking like,
Poor
okay,
Linda,
that
yeah.
Katie's character just started up the relationship with her just to get to get close to Gina
Yeah,
She
Gershon's
must
character.
have, yeah, because like it seems to be in the plan everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
But Katie seems to be in love with her,
I
and
think
like
she was
she
just
seems.
acting, but
Well, she seems no, because she seems like really genuinely bummed that she's got to kill
Well,
her.
Because she's
Well-
all she's clearly a pretty messed up person because she has this
Yeah.
attitude that a woman should only be a mother.
yeah,
And,
it's like,
Gina
that's
Gershon's like,
true.
well, I have to go
Yeah.
back to work and earn money and be a person. She's like, you're not gonna breastfeed this baby yourself. You're gonna let a stranger raise your child. It's like
Yeah.
they're rich people. What did you think they were?
I mean,
gonna
it's
do?
like going
And-
all the way back to the first woman she killed when she's like trying to paint her one tree mural and you hear the baby crying and the woman's like taking a bath, tits out, drinking wine as you do. And she's
Yeah.
like, what kind of a mother bathes while her child is screaming? I will
And
drown
gets
you
drunk.
now.
It's like I'm a mother
Yeah.
and I need a break and pass the bonbons or get the hell out. That's what.
So, can we just decide, going off of what Donnie just said, can we decide that it was a One Tree Hill mural?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God. I will say the
really
one thing
like
I
the show.
love that I gave the blonde woman credit for is her fucking sick burns that she gave to Gina every fucking time. She's like, what is this whole mommy's hair crap? She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was trying to comfort her. But honestly, when was the last time you bathed your daughter, made her breakfast, and took her out? It's like,
I'm just
damn,
saying,
give
I
this
make
bitch
these
some
omelets, so I'm
Neosporin.
more of a mom than you are. Haha. See the omelets I made that are clearly props? Yeah. So there's the daughters, right? There's the daughter
Yeah.
that Katie brings with her, and there's the daughter that Gina Gershon carried,
Yeah.
right?
Cora and Maddie.
Yeah, and they're really little kids, and so they're not in there much, and they're not in there enough to ruin the movie because everybody else got to ruin the movie for them.
Yeah.
And in general, I kind of hate when there's a lot of kids in these things anyway, because it's like, fuck, here's the kid scene. Fuck,
Mhm.
time to go to the bathroom. But like they got the bit where Katie's all like, "That's right, I'm both of your mommies." Ha 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 ha. Like, shouldn't they have had couldn't they have done more of a thing with her like fucking with the kids' heads and like turning them against the mom or something? Like,
I
trying to
honestly
do-
thought it was the Gina Gershon's kid. She was dyeing the hair of at first. I'm like, that would have been really cool to mess with her fucking head. But no, it's just,
like,
oh, did we go
they-
too dark? We dye our hair.
How does your hair really look normally? It's like, oh, it pretty much looks like in the prologue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
With
brown
that
like
terrible
my
wig.
bush.
Now that we're talking about hair, though, can
Yeah.
we talk about Cage's hair? In
No,
this?
oh god.
Oh, what are you talking about? How it's falling off the back of his head?
His Kramer hair.
Nick Cage is an interdimensional being, and he can't always have his hair looking like a normal human being.
Okay.
It is a few steps away from being levels of next hair. That's true. But
Oh
Yes.
God.
speaking of hair that's not there, do we want to get into your segment?
Oh
Oh,
yeah. Oh,
Why
Linda,
don't
what
we?
else isn't there?
I want his clothes off. Clothes off.
Her clothes.
Yeah, we don't get his clothes.
That's okay with me. These ladies were much more pleasant to look
You
at.
didn't
than
want
what
to
we
watch
would see
Stan
there.
Bush fight to survive? You got the touch.
No, in this movie, you see two pairs of boobies. One being hers, Nicky Whelan's, and when she's like in going swimming,
girl named
topless.
Nicky.
You do get that unnecessary Linda running on the beach scene where no nudity, but it's like
Yeah, just
No,
the
it's
cleave.
about-
Yeah.
and my favorite scene in the entire movie. Here's your something positive, Donnie. I noticed. I couldn't help but notice in the
Uh-oh.
scene where she kills the first mother by drowning her in the bathtub. So you get to see that nudity. the second pair of breasts, and you get a little bit of a side vag there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you get to also see, if you pay attention,
Oh god.
Oh, I'm
There's a-
glad it wasn't.
a teeny tiny little air bubble that rises up from her vag.
Oh! Oh no!
Queen.
It's a sequel to the 2016 Ghostbusters.
You have one side vag, two pairs of boobies, and a queefing corpse.
That's where the screenplay came from.
What happened to your mensch? Did they get you? Oh, they got me.
It was Chloe King.
Oh my god.
Oh,
It's a
God.
queefy corpse, everybody.
Damn. Oh.
Donnie, were you able to find any reviews?
And how?
Did they love it, Donnie?
Well, I am going to give the shortest ones first because those are fun. There were a lot of short, just skip this. This is awful. What the fuck? And there actually were people blaming Nick Cage. But
Why? He's barely in it.
that's just it. He's not. He's just like, I'm here. Hi, guys.
And they
People gave
basically
him a
like
Razzie
bookend
for
the movie.
Snowden.
Yeah.
They tried to, so apparently, like him just being around, they're like, "Fucking Cage did this."
Well, they basically like bookend the movie with him, with scenes of him running,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay.
It's incomprehensible.
But I'm
You know, if
sorry.
you-
Go ahead.
If you took the movie The Running and you just had him cut in the middle of a run and then started this movie, it would work perfectly together.
All
You'd never
right.
know the difference.
Yeah.
The
But,
runner.
yes, the runner.
Yes.
So we have bad acting is bad. Awful dollar store wigs and toupees.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage's hair looks dreadful. Weird and scattered storyline. Awkward camera angles and directing. Wait until this movie is available on Amazon Prime. It is not worth the rental cost.
We did.
Yes,
We did.
We followed directions.
Somebody had to make the joke that we all thankfully and tastefully have stayed away from.
Ooh.
It's inconceivable that this movie was ever made. Bad story,
Ew.
bad acting, a thriller that doesn't thrill. And
No,
Yeah,
my
well,
joke
I
was
mean-
just incomprehensible.
yeah,
But that's I mean, they got it. It's
they nailed it.
it's a thriller without any thrills.
Yeah,
It's less thrilling than that movie with Halle Berry and Bruce Willis.
yeah. Oh god. So our last
The one where
little
he's her boss.
cherry on the sundae here is poor Nicolas Cage was outnumbered in this one. He was outnumbered in this one. Too many women in this movie. Absolutely abhorred the lesbian part. It really had nothing to do with the main storyline at all. It's like it was thrown in there as a side
Wait.
story.
Oh, wait, did they say they abhorred it?
They abhorred. Abhorred.
Oh, okay, all right. At first, I thought it was aboard, like they were all aboard for the
Oh
lesbian
no.
part.
They
Okay.
abhorred.
All right, but they were disgusted by that. Okay,
Yes. So
but it is an erotic thriller.
yeah, it's like it was thrown in there as a side story. Was nothing but a distraction to the primary plot. Do not like movies with this trash in it. I
Do
won't
not.
watch them. Nicolas Cage was the best part of this movie. I also liked Gina Gershon's performance. She was great together with Nicolas Cage. That was the end.
Where they
Too
have
many
the worst
women, though.
marriage ever.
There was too many vaginas.
There
Not
are a
enough
bunch of
dicks.
vaginas in this movie. You just got like 4 of them just hanging around at all times. Like, well, mine's saggy because I'm like 79. Well, mine, I'm keeping my pants on, but I'm tastefully 55. Oh, I'm from Australia. Look at mine. I pop babies out of it.
There's nothing but a whole bunch of queefing in this movie.
A whole lot of queefing going on.
Your damn moon cycle goddesses.
There wasn't a filter on the camera that would cloud the poop stench.
Jesus.
So, do you feel like it's It's time for Adrian's special segment.
Oh, Jesus.
Alrighty. It's time for
Sequel!
Sequel!
Return! More! Harder! Shall I start?
You may.
Inconceivable womb of evil. Katie is mauled in a prison fire, but from a fellow inmate who happens to be a shaman.
Oh my.
She learns to contact evil spirits to gain control over her body. A result of this is that she can birth up murder monster fetuses to take her bloody revenge. The daughters and their hapless husbands, plus an ailing Angela, must deal with the attacks on the ancestral mansion, which is now like a cool mansion on a cliff over the sea, and there's like gargoyles and shit. So, there are killer fetuses everywhere, and old deformed ladies squaring off like masterminds.
I believe it.
There may or may not be lethal lesbian scissoring.
Ooh.
That's my brilliant pitch. I guarantee it'll make more money than this one.
Lethal. Get at us, Netflix.
Oh, yeah. You get a whole season out of that at least.
Donnie?
I'm going to let you all come up with the name for this one. But, I took inspiration from my sister in her diverse recasting of most movies.
Oh.
So, in the part of Katie...
Oh, wait, are you doing Face Off or Sequel Return More Harder?
Oh, Sequel Return More Harder.
Okay. Who's Katie now?
Well, actually, we're going to start with Brian. Brian is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh.
Angela is Danny DeVito.
Yes!
Katie is Lou Ferrigno.
All right.
When the impossible became possible the first time, they were shocked. Now it's happening again, and we're shocked.
You're a fucking demon.
I have a title. I do have a title. The number 2 Wong Fu Inconceivable returns.
That could work. Yes, Junior 2 was my favorite.
That was your
Inconceivable Junior.
Angela saw his husband Brian carry a child to term. Now it's Angela's turn. But when the anonymous donor, Katie, comes creeping around and discovers a man carrying their baby, Katie will stop at nothing to right this wrong.
Like Lou Ferrigno when she's angry.
Yes, and this is why I was kind of laughing when Linda was like, there's a man named Allison. Like, well, I've got a man named Katie.
I know you met that little
Damn it,
friend
Donnie.
of mine.
I'm a demon.
Just this week I was watching season 1 of Sea Lab 2021, the episode where the captain's trapped under the soda machine.
I was thinking how'd that make you
venom.
feel? Like $1 million or about a $350.
About $10.50. That's
about how much they put in there.
Ash wants married sex.
So for mine, I don't really have anything like elaborate, but I wanted to see the adventures that Cage's character Brian got into on his motorcycle.
Oh, nice.
His surprise motorcycle.
He's off to a breathtaking tour of Cornwall.
Maybe he could show up in Captain Marvel and go, how about a smile?
Actually, I think I solved it. I think I solved it all.
Oh, no.
So you guys were talking about like how he looked so surprised at the motorcycle. What if he kept that moment where he looks surprised, they zoom in and he says, "Oh boy." Quantum leap.
What if I leaped into this time? Even Gucci says there's like 1 million possibilities with this one saying.
I
can't
don't know.
tell if it's to bang Katie, to bang Linda, or
Do you think this madness would be balanced by Belisario's madness?
Yeah.
For truly, that is madness.
So you all feel ready to face this off?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh,
I can go first.
You can. You're a
Sure, we'll
woman.
let you go first.
Donnie, you are a fucking demon because for mine, I have Brian being played by Lance Hendrickson.
Haha.
No,
Katie,
John, not you.
Katie, or Angela is played by Tom Skerritt. Katie is played by Charles Grodin.
Jesus Christ.
I like it.
You stole from me.
Yes, I was also going for an all-male cast.
Oh boy.
Corsican siblings.
Yes.
Adrian, what did you get?
Oh dear God. Okay, well, mine's a 1979 version. So, because I'm trying to class this up. I'm trying to turn this into the best version of what I imagine this to be in my head here. So this is a 19. Yeah,
I was
you gotta have
thinking
Tom
about Danny
Skerritt.
DeVito too. Swear to
Okay.
God, I was.
So my version is not set in Ohio, but it's set in Long Island, and it's shot at Sands Point Castle. Musical score by Joel Goldsmith, cinematography by Richard H. Klein, screenplay by Anthony Schaefer of the original Wicker Man and Sleuth, directed by Alberto Di Martino of Antichrist.
Shit.
And the 70s Antichrist, not the Von Trier
Yeah,
one. But so for my cast, so for Cage's character Brian, I've got Andre Gregory. For Angela, I've got Susan Sarandon. For Donna, I've got Betty Davis. For Linda, I've got Jessica Harper of Suspiria. And for Katie, I've got Wallace Shawn. Inconceivable. That's right, my dinner with Inconceivable.
Jesus Christ.
Those are my eggs. I gotta get my eggs back. You're not a fit mother.
And what about you, Donnie?
Oh God. So Malcolm Seagrave does a score for this, and Don Cascarelli's score is like direct.
Oh shit! Yes.
Oh, okay. I actually almost went with Cascarelli.
This is also in the 80s.
Okay.
So for Angela, we have Linnea Quigley. For Katie, we have Felisa Rose. And for
This shit,
Brian,
yes.
we have Adrian Barbeau. Another diverse cast.
Ooh. You done went the
I'm
other
here
direction,
for it.
that boy.
Yeah, and I was going to put Felisa Rose as Angela, but that seemed a little too on the nose.
Yeah. That's fair.
Although her accusing stare would have been amazing.
Oh God, yes, that would have been perfect. Yes. Oh, I just got a a couple months ago I found a Don Coscarelli collection I think it Masters of Horror sort of
Oh, I
collection.
thought you were going to say you found like a plushie of him.
Hey! I just
Now I'm
want
gonna
a
make one.
plushie of the tall man. You pull the string and he's like,
Fuck yes.
boy!
It's like Stretch
funeral is
Armstrong.
about to
You
begin,
have to stretch him out
sir.
for him to say it.
That's right.
Carlo doesn't like it when I do that to the cat or the dog. I go, boy!
The cats
Don't
will
know
never
why.
forget.
Aw.
So, were y'all able to find any sort of Cagey wisdom?
Well, there's the obvious wisdom. Never trust a single mom, am I right?
Yeah, never trust a single soccer mom.
Oh, also, never go into the kitchen ever. You will be stabbed.
That's a good. That's reasonable. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fair. Or drugged.
Yeah. Nothing good happens in the kitchen.
Wisdom: if you allow someone to live in your guest house and they change your locks and they lock your windows and you still persist to get into their home, clean up DNA evidence. I mean, god damn. I was like, oh, I cut myself. I guess I should go use your sink to
That
wash
was-
this.
Another thing that I thought of, by the way, a little while before we recorded that kind of blows away the credibility of this is like, these people are obscenely rich.
Yep.
Like, their house is gigantic.
Ungodly rich.
They have property outside of the house. They're ridiculously rich, and even their guest house is something that's enviable to some people. It's like, so you're gonna have this lady carry your baby, and you don't run one of your rich people background checks? You people run background checks like twice before breakfast. Like you background check your nannies, your gardeners, everybody.
That was actually my wisdom is always vet your nannies.
Yes.
Like for fuck's sake.
That's why I compared it to The Room, because it's just like the whole, and Lisa, she's so beautiful, you know? It's like they all just accept this as a fact. It's just everything that's said is a fact. Nobody questions anything. And she's chosen to carry their child without any looking into her friend's suicide or into her background. It's just, well, we kind of like you and you cook omelets, so carry my child.
You fell asleep drunk on my couch, so like, why don't you just move in?
Hey, who's this new person asleep in my house? That's weird. Oh, the one with the spooky vampire eyes? Oh, that's just a friend Linda brought over. She has a daughter, so she's okay.
I don't even know what you mean about eyes. It's not like there was 3 key scenes in the movie where they had to focus in on her fucking eyes like she was fucking Frodo.
And then like, Gina Gershon finds the contact lenses, like, she's not naturally blue-eyed.
Like, she's probably not even a blonde.
She's not of the pure race. Get her out of this house.
Yes.
Maybe that was the underlying story.
Which again, it's the look she gave when she sees the mom dyeing her and her kid's hair. It's like she looks at her like she literally just killed and gutted a puppy in front of the kid. And it's like, bitch, she's just dyeing her hair. It ain't no thing.
Yeah.
Well,
fuck this movie.
Also, don't get Skeletor to carry your child. What the hell?
Yes. Yeah, I was thinking because like there's that scene with Linda in that professional like bathing suit, and although when she changed, I have no fucking idea. Yeah. And Katie in the like in her, I don't know why, but she strips down to her chonies and her bra to kill Linda.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just to keep the other clothes dry.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm guessing
just get nudie.
You know.
I mean, she could have.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be tits the movie anyway. You know?
Yeah, maybe they had like a tit quota and like, hey, we already got 2 pairs on here. We can't do more than that unless you want. What is it, Skinamax? Come on.
Chloe King should have tapped Jonathan Baker on the shoulder there. It's like, I worked on Valley Girl. You gotta have him 4 times, okay?
I mean,
you're not having enough.
This doesn't say anything bad about the actress, because a lot of actresses do this. She could have had a nudity clause where it's like after they did the scene, she's like, hey, I'm not doing any more. And like, hey, we kind of need you to be naked in this scene. She's like, nope, you already got it. It's like, okay.
I mean, I don't blame Linda for the actress who did Linda for not wasting them on this movie.
I just want to know how she was holding that weight underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like how she was so quick to pull it up and like and hit her with it, because you know I did some back when my back was all screwed up. I took some aqua aerobics classes, and like those yeah, there's so much goddamn resistance, and like those water weights, they don't really need much weight because it's the resistance that you're working with.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that was like a 20-pounder at least. Barbell.
Yeah.
Like, how did she just pull it out like all like so quickly like that? And I don't even think you hear a splash, and she's just like
also, it's somewhat shallow over there. Do you think Linda noticed her walking over there with her hand conspicuously behind her back, like really tweaked to one side, like, I'm coming.
It's like,
what are you coming over
your
here
ass
for?
While you're staring at me? Why is your arm sulking so much to your side?
Yeah, I itch my ass when I think about you because you're so beautiful. Hold on a second.
Some sand in my badge. Hold on.
Could you do me a
that is
favor?
A serious problem. I think we women would just understand. Like, honestly, getting the sand out of your badge, huh?
I did laugh at that scene because I thought she was going to weight her body down with the hand weight she had. It's like, this is how I drown you.
Yeah, she kills her and then puts her body over a log.
Yeah, or it just floats there somehow. It's just they don't explain it.
And then those people, the extras who are like were like the most awkward fucking extras in the world, like find the body. And they don't say anything like about Linda after that, except for you were fucking Linda.
There's just a thing in their fridge. that
Remember
says,
Linda,
"In
who was your friend for
memory."
many years? It's like, oh, yeah, she was probably
Yes.
fucking the lady in the guest house. But let's talk about the lady in the guest house now. She's alive and stuff. Yeah, let's put a fertilized egg all up in her.
Yeah, like
then
Donnie
why-
was saying, like there's just the fucking thing on the fridge
Yeah.
with like in memorial or
memory,
something,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
you don't see anything of like, oh God, I miss Linda, or anything like that.
Yeah.
No, she
They
just
should have had a supernatural element to this.
They could have had one of the extras just stand up and say, "I feel like I'm sitting on an atomic bomb," and then it like would have made sense. Yeah.
Well, you get the bit at the end where Gina Gershon shows back up and she looks all pale. It's like, oh my God, she's back from the dead.
zombie.
Yeah, like they could have had like a drawn out ending, right? Where they're in like a honeymoon cottage and it's Cage and Katie there. And then at night, like she can't find Cage, but then she hears the tapping on the glass, and sure enough, the ghosts of those she's wronged or the living corpses come and rip her asunder.
Inconceivable, the resurrection.
and then at the end, she turns back into a comic strip. I can hold my breath a long, long time.
Nice. So remember, you can find Cage's Kiss on Facebook and on Twitter at Cage's Kiss. You can visit our website at cageskiss.com, or you can write to us at cageskiss@gmail.com. Please do. We love it. We love it. We really do love communicating with you guys. Please.
That foot, my foot.
Oh God. Okay, no, I'm not gonna say it. Please listen, follow, rate, and review Cage's Kiss on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, and check out our stuff on YouTube. Also, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Cage's Kiss. We have a lot of goodies there for you. And if you have written a review, thank you so much. We really, really, really appreciate it. We appreciate you. You're amazing.
No matter what you think, write a review. We could take it. We're grown-ups.
Adrian can take it. Check out my other show, Bedknobs and Broomflicks. And I am so freaking excited to announce that besides also being in Dispatches of Disassociation, I'm also going to be in a show called Coyote's Bluff. But also, really, really big news. Kristen from Coffin Cast and the official fourth Cage, she and I are starting a Golden Girls podcast when girls were golden.
So it's about golden showers.
We actually considered having like a name that was like Golden Showers. And then we thought,
Golden Girls, Golden Gondola, Golden Showers, the Golden Child.
What other
want the
specials could you have, Linda?
Please.
I think that's it. So, Adrian, where can people find you?
Oh, good Lord. Well, I'm on YouTube, too, under A.A. Smith, and I'm Leo the Fox, LeoTheFox, all run together, all one word, on both my Patreon, please give me money, and my DeviantArt account. On DeviantArt, by the time this posts, you'll be able to find the latest issue of Dreadful Tales, a pulp magazine we put up on there every 2 months. It's for free to you, so go look at that and read the stories that are inside. The novel that I've been running on that for 5 years since it started is almost at its conclusion.
Nice.
Yeah.
My
Donald?
life awakens. Take a long hard look at Linda. 1 bite, 2 bites. Adrian's walking over.
What?
I'm finishing a song that Adrian got stuck in my head again that hasn't been there for fucking years.
That's right. You're welcome. The brilliant composer of Cop Rock.
See, but that just got me thinking of this is your left, this is your left. That's your left. You're gonna die.
You got it right. 100.
So you can find me at Unreal Goals on the Twitter machine and Instagram, I'm also the boy who blew on Pornhub. And I'm also the only host on Wisdom in the Bottle. I swear it's coming out. We're just editing episode 9 before I start laying this crap out.
Number 9.
I want to listen to that.
You may not.
I wanna.
The people have spoken. It was canceled before it started.
Exactly. I'm not a golden child, okay?
Well,
Born with a silver spoon in my mouth like
what do I even get out of all this, huh? $40,000? What are you waiting for, huh?
I just had a small loan of $1 million, okay? I'm doing what I can. Don't look at me like that.
God damn it.
Didn't ask for this.
You'll be hearing from us next week when we cover Mom and Dad. So we're actually getting back to good
Wait,
stuff.
Mom and Dad saved the world with Rick Moranis? I
Hell
can't wait.
yeah.
No, Mom and Dad's actually really good.
Love it.
He's
You can
losing
find-
his mind.
And I
the benefits.
the benefits. I fucking love John Lovitz. Sorry.
yeah.
So you'll be hearing from us next week when we cover Mom and Dad, which you can find streaming for free on Hulu.
Oh.
Until then.
Prince was about being a single parent.
That's right. I never wanted to cause you any sorrow.
I never called you any pain.
Oh.
I just want to see you love it.
Was a
Do you
girl
guys
named Nicky.
feel like that
You could
was
say she
about,
was
like,
a
his
sex
dad?
fiend. So wait
How's
a
the
minute,
family
wait a minute.
kid?
Yeah, so which character in this movie was Computer Blue about?
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Cage. Peach. I could eat a peach for hours. Please.